There are many approaches to developing work breakdown. Some organizations have developed guidelines of how work is to be subdivided into various components. Typically, the guidelines suggest activities corresponding to specific employees' expertise and job descriptions. Work breakdown can also follow norms of how others have done similar activities. Previous projects within and outside of the organization are reviewed, and tasks listed in these projects are used as a starting point to organize the project's work. In the bottom-up approach, work components are listed first before higher-level organizing concepts are named. This has the advantage of making sure that tasks are grouped in such a manner that the relationships among the higher-level concepts apply to all lower-level tasks. Let's take a look at how we organized the work breakdown in the EHR implementation example. Here we are forcing the purchase of training to be delayed until the system is configured. This does not make sense. A more reasonable approach is not to group purchase of training materials as part of the tasks labeled train users. In this drawing, the purchase of training has no precedence. It can start anytime it wishes. We do not have to wait until the system is configured before purchasing the training material. Note still that configuration is required for training, and training material is required before detailing employees. None of these relationships have changed. We no longer lump purchase training material and detail employees as components of training. Instead, purchase training material is a standalone task at a lower level. Now it can start before configuring the system, and even before purchasing the system. These types of regrouping of work breakdown is important because it allows setting relationships at higher levels that applies to every component within the group. Finally, the fourth approach to breaking up work into its components is through mind mapping. In this approach, visual tools are used to link various tasks in order of their requirements. Tasks are grouped and named so that a relationship among the higher order task applies to all members of the group. We start with the lowest level and continue combining tasks until all level 2 groupings emerge. Two criteria must be met in developing work components or tasks. The first is when work is broken into several tasks. All tasks must be mutually exclusive, meaning they should have no overlap. For example, purchasing systems and training users may not be mutually exclusive if the purchase also includes delivery of training. When breaking work into its components, every effort should be made to list all tasks needed to complete the entire project. The root node and level 2 tasks define 100% of the project's scope. Failure to list key level 2 tasks will lead to disruption in completion of the project and delays as one has to plan again for the missed activities. Of course, you wouldn't want to list everything. In creating a work breakdown, the project manager has a choice of making tasks that cover the breadth of different activities or to develop one task with a great deal more detail. Our advice is to focus on breadth, as including a comprehensive set of activities is more important. Depth will follow through progressive elaboration, or it can be left to the creativity of other project team members. In fact, getting into too much depth in project planning is not only cumbersome, but also counterproductive as it takes away the initiatives of various project members. It is convenient to number a task by its level. For example, purchase training material is numbered as 1.1.2. The number before each point indicates the sequence of the node in the corresponding level. The first 1 in 1.1.2 means that at level 1 we start with the first node. The second 1 in 1.1.2 means that at level 2 we start with the first node too. The 2 in the last digit of 1.1.2 means that at level 3 we start with the second node. This convention allows us to number nodes in work breakdown in a way that suggests the structure. We need to clarify some common mistakes in the definition and use of word breakdown. A goal is not a task or activity. Goals typically do not have a start or end. Our goal might be to increase access to care or reduce medication errors, but these are not the activities we should engage in to accomplish this goal. A task is not a process. Continuous quality improvement is a process. Plan, do, check, and act cycles are a set of tasks within this process. It's okay to use PDCA as 4 tasks, but it's not okay to use continuous quality improvement as a task. A work breakdown structure is not an exhaustive list of work. Not all tasks are included, and level of detail is limited to what is necessary for the assignment of the work. In this sense, a work breakdown structure is a comprehensive classification of project scope. A work breakdown structure is not a chronological listing. Analysis of work breakdown leads to a schedule and a chronological list of activities, and not vice versa. To start with, chronology is to put the cart before wheel. It is counterproductive and may lead to plans that do not cover all project components. A work breakdown structure is not an organization structure. It does not show formal relationships between supervisors and subordinates. It is not organized based on whom reports to whom. A work breakdown structure should not be updated often unless there is a change in scope of work and unless the procedures for managing change in scope are followed. A small change in work breakdown can have a large impact on the project's success. Spend your time creating a good work breakdown that is easy to understand, that corresponds well with job descriptions within your organization, that is not too detailed to prevent creative solutions to the problem, and that preserve the most important relationships among the tasks. Try to rethink the implications of different ways of breaking up the task so that you do not inadvertently add to the length of the project. The take-home lesson is to think through your work breakdown before you proceed to create a schedule. Rethinking a work breakdown is far easier than redoing a project.